This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Good morning. Welcome to Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. As part of Circle City Broadcasting's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, this show speaks directly to entrepreneurs to educate, inform, provide necessary information to develop the skills you'll need to start and then run a small business. Our information comes straight from business owners and local leaders who actually live and work in this community. Simple goal: to use useful and interesting stories that focus on diversity, equity, and opportunities to help you. The show's 7 segments are designed to cover the important topics that a small business may and will encounter. Each week we look at getting your business started, options to access the necessary capital you need, accounting and bookkeeping details, running your business day to day, keeping on top of the week in business, and as a final dose of inspiration, a local success story. Join us here every week on Wish TV or catch the live stream on wishtv.com. You can also access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at beoshow.com. Our site keeps growing as the weeks go on with new content and additional resource information. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter, which is updated every Tuesday. And check out the BE&O podcast. Listen and subscribe so you won't miss a minute of content. Coming up on today's Business, Equity, and Opportunities. In this week's business news, we focus on the digital world and what's happening there that may make your successful small business better. In our Access to Capital segment, find out some of the benefits that are uniquely available to businesses in home health care. And today's industry focus looks into the 75-year history of family-owned Crew Carwash. We start, as we always do, with our first topic, getting started. Each week, this segment covers some of the things you need to think about as you plan for your new business or as you take those first steps toward a great start. If you're thinking about building your business in or around Indianapolis, consider checking out the nearest Community Development Corporation. LDCs are nonprofit, community-based organizations created usually by the people who live in that area to revitalize their communities.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting started.
Kelli Mirgeaux is the president of the Southeast Neighborhood Development Corporation, or SEND. The mission is to enhance the quality of life on the near southeast side of Indianapolis. For businesses looking to move into that area, corporations like SEND can be a great resource.
Southeast Neighborhood Development, or SEND, is a 501c3 community development corporation serving Southeast Indianapolis. Our mission is to improve the quality of life for those who live and work in the area, and we do support small businesses through our economic development program. There's a few different ways that we can help small businesses. Number one is just a connector to other resources. A lot of times there's a lot of information in the city of Indianapolis and other agencies are providing, but it's a lot of information that can be very overwhelming to small businesses. So we can help sort of filter that information down and connect them more specifically to the Indy Chamber, or whether it's LISC, or whether it's a lender, maybe they need some financing, so we can connect them to various loans and lending opportunities that are available. We can also connect them to potential spaces. So a lot of times if an individual is coming in and wanting to open up a small coffee shop or a restaurant or a fitness studio, they'll call us and they'll want to know what commercial spaces are available to lease in the area or purchase. Most neighbors definitely want amenities, right? So coffee shops are very common, restaurants that are actually affordable. A significant amount of SEND's catchment area reside in a food desert, which means that there is limited access for those individuals to a grocer or fresh food or fresh produce. So we often hear a lot of times from residents that they would like a grocery store. And then on the other hand, and on the other side of it is just thinking about some of the basic needs. Is there a bank? Is there a dentist office? It covers the full spectrums in terms of basic needs. Housing, childcare, workforce development, job creation. Food access is a big one, transportation and infrastructure. It's really the full gamut. And so whether or not it's a direct program offering of SENDs, for example, even helping small business owners, we can connect them to our housing program. Maybe they're interested in a home. They want to buy a home close to where their business will reside, or they just are looking for a rental opportunity. Then we would connect them to our housing program. So if it's not a direct program offering of SENDs, The benefit of working with a community development corporation is that it's a one-stop shop to be connected to a lot of different resources and agencies that can help fit that need. Small businesses are the heart and soul of communities that SEND works in, and a lot of times what is great to see is that a small business owner actually resides and works within the community that their business is in. Quite often, small businesses, more so than mid to large scale companies and whatnot, really get involved within the community that they reside in, and so we think that that's amazing. Whether that's if it's someone that owns a coffee shop or a restaurant, working with them on community lunches or community meetings, and I think that there is something that small businesses bring to the table in these neighborhood-based planning efforts and in these community development projects that you don't find from other large-scale employers, which we all need to be perfectly honest, but small businesses really bring the heart of the community together.
If you'd like more information about SEND or other neighborhood coalitions, visit our website at beoshow.com. When we come back, we meet a business owner who is now a dedicated advocate for other entrepreneurs with financial tips in our Access to Capital segment. Later, we visit the headquarters for Crew Carwash to find out about that growing industry. If you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, email us beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. This is Business Equity and Opportunities. We'll be right back.
Getting started, made possible by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome again to Business Equity and Opportunities. This week in our Access to Capital segment, we look into the booming field of home health care to see where you can find financial direction if you're interested in helping fill that growing need.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Access to Capital.
Patrina Williams is the owner of Business as Usual, a consulting program that specializes in helping home health care businesses get started. She explains the unique challenges and opportunities for securing capital that industry faces.
So Business as Usual, what we do is we help people open up their own non-medical home care services. So we mentor them through the process from A to Z. So we're there every step of the way, all the way up until they get their Medicaid number. And we also teach them different type of training. We bring HR, accounting. We have different classes to make sure that when they open up their business that it is basically running successfully. The business side of Medicaid is there's a service that people don't realize that we have. And that service basically goes into the home, help our clients be able to have services that people can help them with. It can be light housekeeping, it can be reminder meds, preparing meals, take them to the doctor's appointment, being a companionship. So that part of Medicaid has that in place. It's called attended care. So attended care providers go into the house and take care of the clients that's in the community that need our services. You have to start off from the beginning. You get your agency, what's your agency name, and then we do your EIN number, and then there's policy and procedures that you have to put in place to be able to get approved for like your PSA, personal care services. So that's a certificate that you have to get first, and after that certificate, then you get your Medicaid waiver policy and procedures so you can be able to bill Medicaid, so you can be able to bill for your clients weekly. I would probably start with like $10,000 if you have it, just to put into an account just in case payroll didn't come through, something happened on the other side, something happened with Medicaid or anything like that, you already have that capital on in the bank. Also, as myself, I went through a company that also helped me build a business capital for when it comes to $150,000 if you need that type of money for your business. If it could deal with payroll or anything that you might need business-wise, I went ahead and took that services just for my company if we need it in the future. So it's out there. It's people that help you build your business credit to make sure you have that type of funds if you need it. You can start off with one client. You can start off with 2 clients. If you want multiple clients, you build your business on how many clients that you want, and building your business is building the relationship with the people that have the clients so you can build your business. So myself, as an example, when I first started, I started off February this year, and we are up to like 19 clients. So it's really up to how you want to build your business. And some people might say, I just want 2 clients and that's all I want. Or you might have some people that probably have like 100-some clients right now and they're building and continue to build. So it's really up to you how you want to build your business. You want to make sure your name is very catchy because somebody wants to know, make sure that you are a home care agency. So that's the first thing, is making sure that your name matches with home care. If somebody looks you up. And when you start a home care agency, you want to put yourself out there. You want to advertise. You want to build relationships with caseworkers. When you build that relationship with caseworkers, it's opening you up with other caseworkers that they may know that, say, hey, Cherish and Lives Personal Care Services have a service. They're a great company. Use them as a company for services for your clients. So the service is there for people to help you to grow, because the need of our clients are out there that need our services. Training is important, so you want to make sure that you have the knowledge of what home care is. Also, for you can train your people, CPR, first aid, all the things you need to make sure that you have in place when it comes to building your business. The need for the business of home care business, there is a need because there's over, that's only in a portal, there's over almost 1,000-some people that need our services, and these are people that have Medicaid, but need the services of Medicaid so they can have the services in their home. So the need is really big, and that's only like one portal. So there's probably 4 to 5 other agencies that people are out in the community that need our services. So the services is very needed in the community right now. I'm excited because right now we are like really building, even in the communities. Right now we're building with the John Bonner Center, and our goal is to open up and build with the other people in our community, the other community centers. So we're excited because the change of people from going from, okay, say somebody made $2,000 a month, you're going from that, and then you're building, you can make anywhere between $8,000 to $10,000 to $12,000, whatever your desire is. So that means you're changing financial wealth in people's households. So that's the exciting part for me, community-wise, that we're reaching people in the community that desire to open up a non-medical home care service, but did not know how to get there. But now you have community centers that is open to be like, hey, let's not just find them a job. Now let's find them an opportunity to open up their own empire, being entrepreneurs. So that's the exciting piece that keeps me smiling, because I'm like, wow, we're making a difference in the community and changing people's financial situations. So that's the exciting part.
If you'd like more information about how business as usual might be able to help you get started in the healthcare business, or any of today's segments, be sure to visit us online. beoshow.com is the site. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter for more resources. Up next on This Week in Business, we explore what's happening in the world of digital media. Later, we take a look at the growing car wash and auto detailing industry with a visit to Crew Carwash headquarters. I'm Scott Sanders. Thanks for watching this encore presentation of Business Equity and Opportunities. We hope you've learned some tips that'll help you start or grow your own business. If you'd like to catch up on past episodes or segments, watch us here every weekday or visit us at beoshow.com. And don't forget, new episodes of Business Equity and Opportunities air every Sunday morning on Wish TV, or you can stream it live at wishtv.com. Fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Watch Business Equity and Opportunities from Wish TV.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
For more than a decade now, businesses small and large have been marketing their products and services online, relying on Google Analytics. The search engine giant, though, has already warned more changes are coming to it. Intimidating unless you have a guide through it. We happen to have one. Nelson Spade, General Manager of Circulus Digital Media, Wish TV's full-service digital agency and sister company. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me again, Scott.
What's the scoop here? What's Google doing?
Google is updating its back-end systems for all businesses. So for many years, probably over 10 years at this point, Google Analytics has largely been unchanged. There's tweaks, there's updates, but not an overhaul. That's what they announced. So starting next summer, so summer of 2023, GA4, short for Google Analytics 4, will be the new game in town. But don't worry, everything in Google as it sits right now is still valid. You can actually run both instances together, but it will be new law by the end of 2023.
So let's talk basics here. You feel really strongly that small businesses and large need to understand what their customers are going for, where they're finding it, their journey, in other words. How does Google Analytics fit into all of that?
Google Analytics is largely used by small and large businesses of all shapes and sizes. Over half of the websites on the internet today use Google Analytics for some sort of insight into their business. Basic information such as where do most of your viewers or customers come from, what are their demographics, main interests, amongst other things such as conversion tracking and where am I getting leads from. There's a lot of things here at play though with this change for Google Analytics. Like I mentioned earlier, it's been over 10 years since there's been an overhaul. So new features, new tech, if you will, it's time for that next instance. The biggest thing here is that Google Analytics, as we currently know it, was built largely for a desktop-based environment. Most users use their phones more than anything else to this day. For instance, on wishtv.com, a site that we manage,
Correct.
over 80% of our traffic is mobile-based. It's a big number.
Yeah.
Google Analytics 4 is far, let's say, friendlier for that multi-platform experience and can give businesses a greater detail of insight.
It sounds like you've overcome that hurdle that we all have initially of, I don't like change scares me. What's the reaction been generally? What do you want our viewers to know about it?
There's always a bit of resistance when it comes to change or giving a business owner some homework on something they need to work on to not get behind on something else. And that's fair, and those are valid. But the key takeaway is that Google Analytics 4 and the current usage of Google Analytics can be used together. They're calling it dual tagging. What I'm suggesting to businesses is get Google Analytics 4 live on your site now. You can use both instances and have a longer overlap of data so that come 2023, when only Google Analytics 4 is available, you're not behind the 8 ball or losing information from your past instance.
Any other homework resources we should be appealing to here?
Google Analytics, since their announcement, has put out some basic training courses.
Like a study guide.
Like a study guide. If you go to Google and type in something to the effect of Google Analytics 4 training, they have a YouTube series to give you the basics. There's also seminars that you can sign up for. It will continue to get more and more advanced. And if you need any pointers or where to get started, we're happy to help as well.
And I guess to underscore everything, Google can be very intimidating because we think of how big it is. Its whole business is working with small business. They want you to be able to handle this and use it.
They want the sticky factor of you using their products and services. It's not by accident.
All right. Well, it's not by accident we invited you, and we appreciate you answering the call.
Thanks, Scott.
Nelson Spade. Still ahead, we find out about tuition options in advanced software education. We also have our weekly success story from a small business leader. If you want more business equity and opportunities, check out our new podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network. You can find out how to subscribe through the link on our website, again, beoshow.com. And we'll be right back. I'm Scott Sanders. Thanks for watching this encore presentation of business equity and opportunities. We hope you've learned some tips that'll help you start or grow your own business. If you'd like to catch up on past episodes or segments, watch us here every weekday or visit us at beoshow.com. And don't forget, new episodes of Business Equity and Opportunities air every Sunday morning on Wish TV, or you can stream it live at wishtv.com. Fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Watch Business Equity and Opportunities from Wish TV.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome again to Business Equity and Opportunities. A trip back to school might be able to give you an edge over the competition. If you need to up your game in computer software knowledge, could be an investment worth looking into.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, Accounting and Bookkeeping.
Scott Jones is the founder and president of 1150 Academy, where you can learn many technical skills that'll come in handy when you start a new business. So how do you decide if you need to invest in your technology future?
It's very interesting. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who are trying to get into business, and they have a wonderful, brilliant idea, but by and large, most of those ideas are enabled by or disabled by a knowledge of tech. And if you don't know it, it's not like every entrepreneur has to be good at tech to implement it themselves. But if they want to have a team that's building it and manage them, whether it's project management or product management or any of that, you better know tech so that you can, I like to say, call BS on the team, right? Like, no, that's not how this is going to work. It doesn't take 9 months to do that. That takes 1 month. And it takes 2 people, not 5, right? And so when I'm coaching entrepreneurs, I am saying, you could learn it all yourself, and you can do it these days in 90 or 180 days, and I know plenty of people who have. If you don't want to do it, if that's not where you're wired, then you're going to have to hire people. You should still learn what it is and take that 90 days to understand it, or take the 180 days part-time to understand it. And the cost to do it is so low compared to what it was in the old days of college and universities, where you take 4 years to learn these things. It literally takes 90 or 180 days. Now it's immersion, right? And it's accelerated, but that's really what you need. There's perfect opportunities here to skill up in tech quickly enough for your needs, whether you're the coder or whether you're the overseer or the project manager or the marketer, right? Individuals and businesses can get the funding for this kind of education, this kind of training. So there are federal sources, there are state sources, there are charitable sources, but what used to cost $120,000 for a public university, 4-year degree, which is, by the way, not the real cost. The real cost is the 4 years that you spent getting that degree that you should have been making 60 grand plus, so that's $250,000 plus the $120,000. That's what your bank account saw, is the lack of $360,000, right? So that's the real cost. Today, you can get that the tech training, the tech components of the training for about $3,000, like out of pocket. That's our average. And many people are going through fully funded or fully financed at 0% financing. You don't pay anything until you have a good job. So, the options today are amazing. Tech plays an integral part in any business plan. It doesn't matter what field you're in, whether it's healthcare or logistics or agriculture, it doesn't matter. You can be a straight tech company, but you can be any of these other companies and you still need tech to enable it. And by the way, one piece of tech that's critical that I always recommend to all entrepreneurs is, and there's multiple packages, but one of them is called Live Plan. And you basically, download it, pay tens of dollars, a month or something, and it's relatively inexpensive, and you build out your entire business plan. I've had several entrepreneurs do it in a few hours from the time they downloaded it. Like, to learn it and have their entire business plan written, first draft, takes a few hours. And so I recommend that use of technology for every business owner, because it then allows you to explode out like all the things that have to happen, like all the milestones and like the goals and the vision, the mission, and then mapping that into the tasks to be successful. Every business is in the business of tech, even agriculture, logistics, healthcare, manufacturing, advanced manufacturing. Tech is a component of everything. What company does not have a website? Small or large, you don't exist if you don't have a website. What company doesn't have to worry about cybersecurity? Every company has to worry about cybersecurity today. It's a big deal. So, and there are other areas that the Academy is expanding upon. There's things like DevOps, there's cloud computing. All companies in all these different dimensions have a tech component. Now that doesn't mean everybody there is doing tech, but if you know the language of tech, you're likely to be doing your job a whole lot better, and you're likely to earn a lot more income if you know tech. And so when we teach, we don't expect everybody to walk out of here and spend the rest of their lives coding. But if they know what coding is and understand the implications of what you can do and what you can build with coding and with cybersecurity and IT, it gives you many more dimensions of what you can do in your career. And if you're building a company, which is what I've spent my career doing, is building companies, it allows you to see things that others don't see.
If you'd like to know more about this segment or any today, view our previous episodes as well. Visit our website, beoshow.com. There you'll find many resources to help you create and run your own successful small business. Also be sure to sign up for the BE&O newsletter updated each week. Up next, our segment, Running Your Business Day to Day. How does it work as you move forward? Business Equities and Opportunities. We'll be right back.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. We've talked about getting your business started, accessing capital, and some ways you can learn more about the tech side of your company. Now we turn our attention to running your business day to day. If you're starting a new business, you may well face an unexpected emergency at some point. To help you prepare for that, this week we explore the importance of creating a crisis management plan.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Running your business day to day.
Deana Haworth, the Chief Operating Officer for Hirons, explores some of the potential dangers that small business owners may need to face and why she says it's vital to include a crisis strategy as part of your business plan.
So a specialty in our business is crisis management and crisis communication. So whenever we get the chance to talk to entrepreneurs and business leaders, I always encourage them to think about their crisis plan. In our world, that's very narrowly focused on crisis communications and response. You may have a broader incident response strategy that you have as a business, but thinking about the crisis communications portion of that plan. So what if your business burns to the ground? What if an employee makes a really bad decision and you're looking at embezzlement or other bad business practices? What if social media turns on you and you're dealing with something that can be wholly fake and false, but it is attacking your business? You need to be ready for those incidents. So we recommend an issues management approach, which is really fleshing out 3 to 5 different scenarios that are likely to hit your company. And we want you to really cover the range, but you think about messaging and response, you think about who the spokesperson would need to be, you think about those early holding statements that you may need to share with those that are inquiring before you're ready. think about all of the different audiences that might need to be touched in that moment, and tidy up your contact management. Make sure you know who to contact, when, and who that messenger should be. Even those small preparation steps can help you as a crisis hits. You're most likely going to be close to one of those 4 or 5 scenarios that you've fleshed out, and you'll have a starting point at a moment when every second that passes is meaningful to your company succeeding through this crisis. As we talk to business leaders, we find that it rings true now more than ever that leadership is lonely. And so we want to make sure that these leaders have mentors in their lives that are helping them through the good times and the tough times. They might be faced with decisions, certainly during the pandemic over the past few years. Many of us were faced with decisions that we never thought we would even be considering. And so making sure that you have mentors in your own circle that are supporting you, but also we are very committed to making sure that we're giving back. Tom Hirons had very strong, important mentors in his career, and still to this day, we try to encourage mentorship through our agency. So we have a Be Bold mentorship program where our employees can request mentorships with other more senior members of our firm and really see maybe a path forward or get some help with decisions that we're making. We also are really committed to building our industry. So I've personally worked with a lot of woman-owned and Black-owned businesses in our space to help them form their business, get certified in the right way that makes sense for them, really grow and amplify their services, make new connections. We succeed when we have others in our industry that are also succeeding, so giving back in that way is so important. We also have a real commitment to lifelong learning. Our CEO, Jim Parham, just finished his PhD, and many of our team members teach at the university level in advertising, branding, public relations. We need to grow the practitioners and the strategists of tomorrow, and so we want to really start at that college and university level of giving back.
Up next, our industry focus this week looks at the popular and ever-growing car wash business. We visit one of the largest car wash companies in the nation, which started here in Indiana. That's coming up on Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sanders. Thanks for watching this encore presentation of Business, Equity, and Opportunities. We hope you've learned some tips that'll help you start or grow your own business. If you'd like to catch up on past episodes or segments, watch us here every weekday or visit us at beoshow.com. And don't forget, new episodes of Business, Equity, and Opportunities air every Sunday morning on Wish TV, or you can stream it live at wishtv.com. Fuel your entrepreneurial spirit. Watch Business, Equity, and Opportunities from Wish TV.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Today, our industry focus is all about the growing car wash sector. For those who love their cars, a trip to the car wash is a critical weekly routine. Countless cars pass through car washes every day in this country. It is big business, but many of them started small.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
This week's Industry Focus looks at the ever-growing car wash business. Sally Grant, Executive Vice President for Crew Carwash, one of the largest car wash companies in the nation, takes us inside to find out what makes this family business work.
It looks a lot different than it did when my grandfather started the car wash back in 1948, primarily made up of a lot of mom and pop operators that maybe had 1 or 2 locations. And now, we have chains that are public. We have chains that are acquiring, new locations and other operators. So it's a growing and it's a thriving business, and we're excited to be a part of it. And at Crew, we want to stay true to, you know, what has made us successful, and that's not being the biggest. It's being known for the best customer experience and the best team member experience. Everyone is so busy with what they're doing in life, and time is critical. And at Crew, we live by our brand promise of clean, fast, and friendly. We realize our customers have a lot going on in their lives, a lot going on in their day-to-day, and we want them to know that getting a car wash is something that they can do with ease, make it frictionless, in and out, and then solve one of their issues of making sure that they're representing themselves in a nice, clean car. We are in a subscription business as well with our unlimited wash program. I think especially now with the economy, people want the best value that they can get. So we make it very easy for a customer to sign up, one monthly subscription rate, and they can wash wherever they want. They can wash where they work, they can wash by their home. We want to make it very easy for our customers and give them a great value that they appreciate. I think any business, not even just the car washing business, but focus on your team. It starts with your team members because they are the ones serving your customers, and like my grandpa always said, if your team is happy, they're going to do an outstanding job and wow your customers. So we really focus on that at Crew every day. What can we do for our team to keep them engaged, to help them reach their full potential? I think everyone in the world knows how challenging it is right now, sometimes with our current staffing environment and employment rate, but we really want to stay true to what brings us success, and that's our team. So we have not lowered any hiring standards. We're very selective in the hiring process in a good way, because we know the number one thing our team members like about working at Crew Car Wash is the people they get to work with. And we want to make sure that that always stays true. We hire fun people, positive individuals that truly want to work hard and do the best that they can, and we give them all the tools to be able to do that. Our team member promise is to truly help our team members reach their full potential, and we realize that sometimes that's going to be at Crew, which is great. We have an awesome management program. We have managers that have been on our team for over 25, 30 years that started as 16-year-old associates. So we do realize some of these young team members will go on to have careers at Crew, but a lot of them are going to get some really good business skills, customer service skills that they're going to be able to take on to future jobs, to future careers, and that's important to us, to really give our team members the skills and some of those life lessons that they can take on with them wherever they go. The future for us, at least, looks like we want to continue growing, because we feel like that is a way to continually attract great people to our team, give them career advancement opportunities, advancements to be managers, advancement to be area directors, join our support team. So we want to be part of a growing company, but we want to do it in a conservative, profitable way where we're not outgrowing our culture. So we're continuing to look for great real estate here in Indiana and outside of Indiana, and focus on all of the key training elements that we have in place for our team members, and continually thinking of ways we can help our customers solve some of those everyday little problems, like, hey, I've got to run an errand, I've got to get my car cleaned. So we really want to keep our customers at core focus and our team.
Up next on Business Equity and Opportunities, we share another great success story from one of our contributors that we hope will inspire you. Stay with us.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. We've covered several ways to help you create your own successful business. This week's success story, we look for inspiration from one of our community's most successful business owners.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities Success Story.
Emil Ekior is founder and the driving force behind InnoPower Indy, an organization that creates platforms and enables opportunities for creative thought with the given goal to drive innovation through diversity and inclusion.
So I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. When I was 15, my parents decided that it was a good idea for me to move here to the U.S. to pursue educational opportunities. I have 7 sisters and 2 brothers. So of course, when they told me that, I was sad I was leaving my family. But I remember vividly when I walked outside of my house in Lagos, Nigeria, and I walked into my friends to tell them. I remember how excited I was that I was coming to the U.S. I remember telling all of my friends, like, yes, you know, in 10 years, I'm sending for all of you, and I'm going to America. You know, one of the strangest things for me was, in Nigeria, you are identified by your culture. You're Yoruba, you're Hausa, you're Igbo, you're Ijaw. And when I came here, for the first time, I was identified by my skin color. And initially, I didn't really understand it because we didn't learn the systemic issues here, because we were dealing with our own systemic issues in Nigeria with colonization. So got here, I'd never played football, American football. I played soccer growing up. So I got introduced to football my junior year in high school. Played, I wasn't really good when I first started. I'd never played. My senior year, ended up having a pretty good season. And then I got 1 scholarship offer to go to the University of Central Florida in Orlando. I got lucky and got into the NFL, and was a life-changing experience. So if you can imagine, 6 years prior, I was in Nigeria, and here I was in the NFL. So I retired from the NFL. My wife is from Indy, so we moved back here. Indy just there were so many opportunities that we saw in Indianapolis. I stayed in Oakland, California, in San Francisco, Atlanta, Tampa. And Indy just had this, like, a lot of things were still in its infancy stages as far as innovation and growth of the city. And I tried to figure out, okay, what am I going to do next that gives me the same excitement and energy about just life? You wake up every morning energized about what you do, like football did for me. But I just saw so many young people. I just saw a community that was full of talent. They all had dreams and aspirations. There was no connection, right? There was no path for them. Nobody ever shared a vision of themselves. We tried to figure out, how can we do good, but how can we pay the bills doing good, right? My dream of life was always to be an entrepreneur. So it was trying to create something that could impact our community, but could be sustainable. We just came up with the concept of InnoPower. The power of innovation. How do you solve problems and create opportunities in a different way in Black communities? So in the areas of talent development and entrepreneurship, everything from an idea stage business. If I have an idea, where do I go to foster the idea and help it grow? If I have an existing business, how do I grow my existing business? If I have a side hustle, how do I turn my side hustle into a formal business? And then at the end, if I'm looking to generate extreme wealth, how do you do that in Black communities today? So we try to look for a playbook, right? Who's done this? Like, how does this work? Like, what are some examples on how to do this? So as we were thinking about all those things and starting an organization, COVID hit. We didn't know that COVID was going to affirm everything that we were thinking, right? We didn't know George Floyd was going to happen, and everything that we were thinking and saying in our community was going to be affirmed as far as a different way and creating infrastructures and foundations to support startup growth and sustainability of Black businesses. We started our conference pre-COVID, and our conference has grown because it just created a platform for people to come together and gather. So we learned so much from mistakes of the past, just over the years of testing and trying different things. We wanted to come in and focus on the entire ecosystem. White, Black, green, woman, man, whoever. How do we take all those ideas? How do we create spaces where people can share those ideas and create this playbook, right? So we felt like that was the biggest opportunity we have today in Indianapolis is, how do we get the best of the best ideas? How do we engage the communities that we want to impact so we can create a playbook that really details how we accelerate economic productivity in these communities. Accelerate because things are going to change. It's just going to take several generations. But how do we do it within one generation? And we believe that it can happen. So how do we respect people's ideas, opinions about certain things, bring them into the fray, and create this environment that really helps our entire community? Just get me there, right? Getting here and then being plugged into just this amazing infrastructure, right? I tell people all the time, the sports industry has the best talent development infrastructure in the world, right? If you are a talented athlete, if you had the traits and the skill sets, you get plugged into a development structure. And on the back end of that, you could be in the NFL or NBA. So how do we take that and bring that into every industry to develop Black talent? Where industry has skin in the game in the development process, where people have economic freedom and feel like they can start a business. If they have an idea for a business, those ideas just don't die. There's a place to go and grow those ideas. And we just feel like Indianapolis is so ripe for that today. We have the leadership in place from the state perspective and government. We have the leadership in place locally. We have a community, white, Black, brown community that all feel the same way. The only thing that's keeping us from doing is creating spaces where we could all come in and share these ideas and listen to each other to create the environment that we all care about and we all want to see. So that's kind of how my experiences have kind of shaped where we are today and our thoughts and how we think about people, communities, and working together to be where we are today with InnoPower and having the vision of accelerating economic productivity in our Black communities here in Indiana.
Special thanks to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of Business Equity and Opportunities. You can find more information about today's show or any show on our website, beoshow.com. A reminder, each week we provide 7 full segments to interest both business startups and those of you already running a small business in our community. Topics always include new thoughts on getting started, how to access capital, the day-to-day running of your business, and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We also feature business news and trends and share a success story from one of our contributors. So we invite you to join us every Sunday at 10 here on Wish TV for more insights into the world of small business with equity and diversity and opportunities in mind. You can also stream the show live on wishtv.com. There you'll see and use all of our content and share it on demand anytime as well. beoshow.com is our website. Catch the BEO podcast that's updated weekly as well. That's on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions, or perhaps you'd like to be part of our broadcast, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We truly would love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for watching.